I'm Van.
I'm Sorry.
That's Booby.
And Jolpy and Ghosty.
And Toby. Huh? That was because we hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you very much if you're a subscriber. Do we have, where in the world? Oh, yes, we do. This is the big homie. Hi. He's got 2 Village shirts. If you want one, there's a Teespring link down there. Have at it.
It's in the description of this video. Also, I think you can look down here depending on what device you're on.
For sure. For timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sorry. I've quite frankly have been hesitant to post any political videos because all of them have to do with COVID-19 and I don't want to politicize this issue, and based on what's going on right now with the votes and the relief efforts and such, and I just don't even want to mix politics with this human situation. So I will find something to report on eventually, I'm sure. But away from that stuff, this is GWAR from the big homie Jay Dispirited. One of our OG members, OG patrons. The way you get your video fast tracked to the head of the line, it's called the partner tier, $125 at the gate. Get you that if you were at the 70. If you purchased 3 $75 songs at any point in your life cycle,
it didn't even have to be consecutive.
Doesn't have to be consecutive, but if you did 3, you are grandfathered in at the $75 rate. And then all the noobs, you get $125. Okay. So this is GWAR, Litany of the Slain, and I saw Jay posted something about one of the big homies from GWAR who died.
Well, right here.
I think it was his...
it's a fitting tribute for, you want to pronounce
Orderus,
a.k.a. Dave Baraki.
Arungus, Dave Baraki, R.I.P. to the big homie. This is a day late, please forgive us, Jay, but better late than never, right? Inshallah, he'll forgive us. Okay, GWAR, the Litany of the Slain, let's go.
And go.
And we begin a litany of people killed by mostly me. Go to the Loki's first in line, Arctic and not far behind. Ripped an arm of Melvin Beavish, mutant cockroach not for squeamish. Uncle Navi crushed by engine, pretty spooky anus bending. And on rim top he exploded, redneck got his chest imploded. Biker bitch she was detected, doubles on a pipe was spitted. Crano crushed a Franken ref, Ollie North was kicked to death. Smash fight was the mutant baby, Small Sack had to join the Navy. Of the vanquished, the litany of the slain. You know their names will someday vanish, enshrined in death they shall remain. Mr. Fudgy, death quickly. Mrs. Fudgy, slow and sickly. Mangled spleen of Noriega. Lumps of gum, yeah, we betrayed ya. Who survived the oral swallow? Best in techno, threats were hollow. Also waste is Mortal Kombat. And the Grambo red with wombat. Of the vanquished. The government lost the taste, but the litany was beaten badly. It was tactics, that's the madly. Butterfly boy wrecked and drowned. Butterfly girl had no luck. Blocked him with a facial fist for Coscom. He had his face melted. Wood like it was freshly melted. Flesh column double fist chop. OJ got a jungless with Jerry Garcia. Heart attack. Frank Sinatra have a whack. Bloody beat on Cardinal Sin. Sin warriors were chopped and chinned. Great alien stuck and skewered. Alien baby was manured. Michael Jackson was a fighter. Jerry Springer struck by light. The mutant penguins was the joke. Robo's easy get the rope. Bill Clinton hacked and mangled. Monogarden angel tangled. Lady died. Death expected. L2J resurrected. John Bonet of bloody mass. And Elvis a spear of mass. The master wasn't very scary, but John Kerry very hairy. Marilyn Manson he got skinned. Big up monster flipped and pinned. Dr. Leaky got John knocked off. Double titch of Laura Croft. Algo saw his flesh are rending. Bush's death was never ending. Bloody Mary crushed by bison, kicked the shit out of Mike Tyson. Courtney Love was raped and rotten, had to hang a guy named Sodom. Osama crushed by weight so heavy, found the head of Chandler Levy. Hook John Paul got bit by Gorgo, bashed and flashed a Reagan Nagar. Lacey Peterson was found, Dick Cheney cuffs unwound. Paris Hilton fucked a donkey, Sharon Osbourne rather wonky. Lordy's head was on a stick, he ate that dude on a dick. Crucifer down my camel, double arm rip toe enamel. Hellcock got a spear up ass, ultimate Bohab quickly gassed. Nazi Pope was executed, Mohammed electrocuted. Hillary Clinton murdered mama, gruesome killing of Obama. John McCain saw his guns spilling, some book destructo saw the killing. Messy death for General Zod, another baby crushed with law. And that's what this song is for, the creatures that were killed by GWAR. And that's what this song is for, so check in on the next quarter. And that's what this song is for.
What?
And that's what this song is for, so churches that were killed by GWAR.
So this is not serious?
No.
Or is it kind of serious?
No, like half these people are alive still.
Yeah, but some of them are dead.
Yeah, some of them are dead, but some of them are alive. I think we saw a live video of their performance one time, and they killed somebody, and then they splash of blood into the crowd and all that. So I guess that's their thing. They put all these people up in effigy, and then they kill them.
Oh my god. Oh, okay.
Small Sack had to join the Navy. If you're not in, I'm not gonna say that. Shout out to the Navy. Much love to you guys. Oh man, Navy gets dragged everywhere. That's why they had to have the SEAL in their division. It's like a not very well endowed person getting a. I shouldn't say that. Shout out to the Navy. Much love to the Navy. A lot of good dudes. So these people. This is one of those tracks I don't think could be written in 2020.
Mm-hmm. No.
I just don't. Some of these people are like completely made up, I'm pretty sure. The Antarctic Ant, Goaty, Pretty Pookie. I think some of these guys are made up things in their little canon, but some of this stuff.
What do you mean? They just made it up entirely? Or are you saying, I mean, maybe there were actually people that they hung around with that went by some of these names?
I don't know enough about the band, but I'm just assuming that, you know, Goaty the Lone, Antarctic Ant.
Basically a song about everyone GWAR has killed on stage during their live shows. You're probably right, in effigy.
Yeah. I just think that, like, if you're a GWAR fan, this is a massive, massive treat because, you know,
oh, yeah.
I said this when we were watching the Jack Black video, and I'm like, yo, he's actually very, very talented.
Mm-hmm.
Does he try to do any, like, serious songs? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And this was a heavy song. Like, I genuinely...
Yes, it was.
The riffage was crazy. I loved it. Yeah, you know, there's some sort of, what's it, Infant Annihilator was in the band that we did. Like, that type of style of, like, metal, like, just unrelenting. Dum, 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 rah, 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 rah. And, you know, keeping the tempo along with the guitar signature, which is kind of rare these days. So, this was a really, like, heavy song and all the rest of it. And then, like, they were joking the entire time, and you're just like, yo, are there
serious ones?
Yeah, like, but maybe their whole shtick is, look, man, there's enough serious metal bands out there that are talking about an existential crisis or war or Satan or whatever.
And they just want to have fun.
Let's just have fun, be as offensive as we possibly can, and then, you know, whatever. But it's like, what in the world?
Immortal Corruptor was the other song.
Yeah, we did Immortal Corruptor, and I think there was some pretty craziness. That's, you know, there's the still shot when you were like, what's going on? And I'm like trying to keep my vomit down from, this is pretty nasty stuff. But yeah, if you were like a GWAR fan, this would have been a
Jerry Springer struck by lightning. Lighter. Isn't
yeah, that's
he does that show.
Yeah.
Tall guy.
No. You're thinking about Maury. You are not the father guy.
Oh yeah, who's Jerry Springer? Jerry Springer's one of those weird shows too.
Yeah. And people were always fighting and stuff on his show, and then he'd have to go and break it up and all the rest of it. Like, I used to watch it every time when I came home.
I was not allowed to watch that. Sometimes it was playing at Mehmet's house.
I enjoyed it. Mom was working. I'd come home from school, and there's Jerry Springer. Somebody's always going into jihad. Somebody's fighting. Somebody's fighting. I mean, these guys, you know, they talked about John Benet Ramsey, which is...
Yeah, I didn't like that.
I mean... I'm you know, you figure this stuff out, and, you know, I think, like, ever since Howard Stern, people were, like, trying to go out of their way to be, like, as maniacally offensive as possible. And, you know, I just think, you know... that one was
section,
tough.
the section right there, I didn't
one?
like the section. Go down to where it says Jean Benet. I didn't like them bringing up Monica because I actually feel differently after we watched that documentary.
Yeah.
And seeing her perspective of what was going on and seeing more details of what was happening. Like,
I agree.
and the way that the media just slashed and slandered her to make her just look like some crazy whore that went there for that exact thing when that is not what was happening.
Yeah.
And then Lady Diana, obviously, that was another one that I'm like, no, because... She was the first person that was somebody I didn't know when I found out that she died. I was very sad. And I didn't even know who she was prior to that. Mm-hmm. But it bothered me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely get it. Obviously, the John Benet thing, you know.
Worse because it's...
Tough stuff.
That turned out to be her parents, right?
Well, nobody's ever been, you know, really arrested about it, so.
Gosh, how can somebody get away with that?
You'd be surprised. OJ got a jugular slit. That's what they call poetic justice, right? Because that's what he did to his wife. Mm-hmm. You know, boy, there was that documentary on ESPN, and it was brutal. I mean, they showed the crime scene and the after effects, which is, it's just a strange...
I'm always surprised that they show stuff like that. I feel like, I don't know, like the family can just see that scene like that now?
Well, I mean, yeah, they're not going to watch it, but inshallah they don't watch it. But then you know, that's you know, OJ it was a special or book where he wrote, I didn't do it, but if I did do it, here's how I did it.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just like, the OJ thing was pretty formative because I remember watching the whole thing from start to finish as a kid, you know, and of course, you know, OJ was black, yada, 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 so all black people went for him. It's just like voting for Obama.
When, it was like one of the funniest moments was when you were like, when you guys saw at the end, when he got like...
When they said not guilty?
Yeah, and the face that you made when you repeated what like some of you were thinking, like...
Yeah,
it was a hilarious moment.
Because he looked like such a bad guy. You know, from the cartoons when they get away with shit, and he's like, yes, souls. You know, and it was like, you know, and it's crazy, like, when you look at the documentary.
Because the way that you did it, you were like, yeah, and then, like, you were like, ugh.
Yeah, I slowly put my hand down. I remember exactly where I was. I was in Florida, and a lot of racial tension down there, and then, boy, all the black folks got up, all white folks were like, this is a travesty of justice, and we were like, welcome, come and welcome, how does it feel? But, you know, it's weird, like, getting out of that situation. And then when I watched the documentary, one of his lawyers, because what ended up happening was they were not able to get him for the murder that he obviously committed, but they were able to basically lock him up for 3 or 4 years because he was in a scuffle at a hotel.
Yeah.
And his lawyer was like, yeah, they'll just do anything to get him. And the guy was visibly angry, and like what you were supposed to get about that little section was these racist bastards coming over poor O.J. Simpson. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, so like being removed from the situation and then like listening again to all the evidence, it was like, oh my god, of course he did it.
Yeah.
But there was massive incompetence on the side of the prosecution, obviously. That got exposed too, and then of course the big homie Mark Furman. Shout out to Mark Furman. Unbelievable. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's actually. You know, these guys don't take themselves seriously, but I actually think that, especially this verse right here with all this stuff, like, it's having us relive some massive events in history, in our history from, you know, 95 onward. I mean, like, you know, so all these figures in the news and stuff, like, if I showed this lyric to the kids, they'd be like, I don't know any of these people.
Right.
But I remember where I was with the John Benet thing. I remember I was with the all the stuff we're talking about, you know.
Yeah.
So it's kind of.
I remember as a kid, every time I went to the grocery store with my parents, I was always looking at the things to find out.
Yeah.
Years and years
Strange
and
stuff.
years went by, and I could not believe they never found out.
Yeah.
And then I remember when it came out that it might have been her parents, and I remember like feeling terrified that like, because it never occurred to me that a parent could do something like that to their kids.
Yeah.
And so realizing that that might have been the case, and the parents are crying like, oh gosh, that was so.
Well, the whole John Bonet thing was really a horrible thing for what it said about our country. One was they had her doing this like
It's pageant.
6-year-old beauty pageant
Yeah.
thing. She was all made up and stuff like that. So the exploitation of that of her at such a young age.
Yeah.
And then obviously the person who killed her. But then the biggest thing was the media. Everywhere you went, you saw this dolled up picture of this little girl, and because they knew it was going to generate hits. They
Yep.
knew that they were going to get people to buy their stuff because
Yep.
everybody was so like entranced by this story.
Yeah.
And it's one of the reasons why I'm not doing a COVID-19 video. I just don't want to, and I probably will at some point, but like, it's an easy hit. People are going to jump on, people are going to watch it, and you want that attention. But at the same time, like the tabloids and regular news, like everything was completely blown out of proportion to the point where it's like, I don't know, maybe the fact that, I'm not going to say that, but.
And they always made it sound like on the outside of the magazine that they had something, they
Some
figured something
new
out, so that you
wrinkle
wanted to
in-
buy that
Yes.
to read it. But I couldn't
Yes.
do that, and I couldn't take down the magazine and look through it either. My parents would never have allowed that. So
Yeah.
every time I
Horrifying
saw that, I
stuff.
said they must have figured it out. But then another month would go by, and they'd still have stuff out about her. So I'm like, so then there wasn't anything in that magazine.
Yeah, let's monetize this girl and her suffering.
You still see it. She's still on covers now.
100%. Yeah, it's a. I'm not particularly certain as to why it was such a massive story, considering how many kids go missing. But the media, man, they just jumped all over that, and they all, they cashed in. They had that girl for 2 to 3 years, So it's like,
Terrible.
okay, so you can get mad at GWAR for mentioning her in passing about her being killed or something like that, which is absolutely horrible. But John Bonet, bloody mess. Horrible thing to say. But at the same time, it's like the media monetized that girl's suffering and her death. And let's say that the parent, and even like there's speculation the parents did it. Let's say they didn't do it.
Oh, I know. So
now, not only do you lose your daughter, but you're now being accused of being the person
I know.
that killed.
I
And there was
can't imagine.
horrible,
I couldn't
horrible
imagine.
theories about the dad and her and
Yep.
all this, and
Yep.
and nobody stops to think, well, maybe what if none of that's really true, and what
Yeah.
if the actual story is a story that she got kidnapped? Now you're, just horrible, horrible stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I guess that's like the question that I would bring. If you're offended by this phrase, John Bonet bloody mess, which I am, at the same time, are you just as offended with the media and the way that the media made probably literally tens of millions of dollars combined? That's probably a lowball number by continuously putting her on the front page of everything. And it
Yeah,
wasn't
that's pretty sick.
And it wasn't like front
never thought of
page
that.
all the time, like, go find this girl. It was long after she was dead. I mean, that's when the tabloid stuff really, really kind of.
Well, I thought that it was because they were, I believed the best of them. I thought that it was because they wanted to keep bringing it to the public to say, we need to find out what happened.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize any of it had to do with money.
Yeah. Horrible stuff. Horrible
Yeah.
stuff. So, again, that's my point. Like, okay, well, which one is worse? If you're that upset about it, then what about this?
Yeah.
Obviously, you guys know our stance. We're pro-life, so that, we're always going to say something like that is horrible, but we also have to, kind of take accountability for our role in the exploitation of this girl's suffering, in the sense of patronizing these outlets. But I think, honestly, when people talk about cancer culture and things like that, I really feel like if this would have happened in the modern time, and I mean, you've got the internet and things like that, so the magazine covers wouldn't really work as effectively, but I do think that there would be a massive campaign against this stuff to get them to stop monetizing her suffering or whatever. But
Oh.
I'm not sure. So yeah, good song. Pretty heavy. What was that guy's role in the band, I wonder? What's
It
the
was
guy's
heavy,
name again?
but it was repetitive heavy.
Yeah, I can rock with you there. I can rock with you there. All right, what's the guy's name here? Rhythm guitarist.
Oh, jeez, I'm calling those kids' name.
I know, it's ridiculous. What was the guy's name again who died?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Fungus Among Us, is that what it is?
Brocky was the last name. Here. Right here. Dave Brocky. Right there.
Yeah, there he is, Dave
Lead
Brock.
singer.
Oh no, he was a singer. He died? That's terrible.
He died when? 2014.
Died of a heroin overdose.
Damn.
March 23. Okay. Did we get it in time?
Well, I mean, we recorded it on time.
Yeah, March 23.
Yeah, because that's Sale's
Is
birthday.
it the 22nd? Oh, well, yeah. We recorded it on March 23. Sorry, Jay. So yeah, shout out to GWAR. That's an amazing song. What do you give it?
8.
I give it a 9.2 because I do think there's subtle genius here. I mean, we could. This was very lyric heavy, so if we went line by line, we'd be out of here in 5 hours. But I actually think there's some hidden genius to this stuff. I really do.
I think that there's probably some stuff that's really funny, and then there's stuff that's really sad.
They're historical, right? There's historical people like
Yep.
Saddam, Bin Laden, Noriega, and then there's people they made up, and then there's iconic tragedy figures like John Bonet would be one. So yeah, for that I give it a 9.5. Really good song. Rest in peace to the big homie. We'll see you up there, inshallah. God's more gracious than we realize. And also much love to the big homie Jay Dispirited. Thanks for picking up the phone when I called you, buddy. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone.
Old Snapper, he never died. Scarlet still don't like to try. Bloody Mary crushed my bison. Kicked the shit out of my Tyson. Courtney Love was raped and rotten. Had to hang a guy named Sodom. Osama crushed my weight so heavy. Found the head of Chandra Levy. Hooked John Paul got bit by Gorgo. Bastion flashed a Reagan Nager. Lacey Peterson was found. Dick Cheney cuts unwound. Paris Hilton fucked a donkey. Sharon Osbourne rather wonky. Lordy's head was on a stick. He ain't dead to what a dick. Jucifer run down my camel. Double arm rip toe enamel. Hellcock got a spear up ass. Ultimate Bohab quickly gassed. Nazi Pope was executed. Mohammed electrocuted. Hillary Clinton murdered mama. Gruesome killing of Obama. John McCain saw his guns spilling. Some boat destructo saw the killing. Messy death for generals are. Another baby crushed with law. And that's what this song is for. The creatures that were killed by GWAR. And that's what this song is for. So check in on the next quarter. And that's what this song is for. So check in on the next quarter. And that's what this song is for. So churches that will kill by GWAR. And we begin a litany of people killed by roasted meat. Go to the Loki's first in line. Arctic tank not far behind. Ripped an arm of Melvin Beavis. Mutant cockroach not for squeamish. Uncle Nobby crushed my engine. Pretty spooky anus bending. And on Rimcop he exploded. Redneck got his chest imploded. Biker bitch she was deep-tinted. Scuffles on a pipe was spitted. Crano crushed a Franken ref. Ollie North was kicked to death. Smash fight was the mutant baby. Smallsack had to join the Navy.
Now let's of the vanquished. The litany of the slain. You know their names will someday vanish. Enshrined in death, they shall remain.
Mr. Fudgy, death came quickly. Mrs. Fudgy, slow and sickly. Mangled speed of Noriega. Locks up, knocked out, who betrayed ya? Crucified in oral swallow. Best in techno, threats were hollow. Also waste his mortal combat. In the Grambo ring with wombat.
My litany of the vanquished.
The cover empty of the tapes.
My litany
was beaten badly. Hitler's tactics last a plastic. Father Mohammed today.
You know that name
If he shotgun blast,
will
I fight with a
someday
vision blast.
vanish.
Rico Bauer, he was paid. Like
Enshrined in death,
a spirit.
they shall remain.
and drowned. Butterfly girl had